Hola. Good morning. Corso Solo. Morning, day 3. Let's see here. Good night's rest. Thought I heard a bear. Could have been a dream. I don't really know. I'm still here, so that's good. Really nice, warm night. Turned into a very cool early morning. And a little bit of clouds this morning. The sun is just starting to peek through the trees, which is really nice. The plan for the day is to get to Lillian Camp. It's around 13 miles, and should be some nice rolling hills, hugging the river, more beautiful forest. Overall, how I'm doing, body is definitely feels like I've carried a backpack for 26 miles for 2 days. It took me a little bit of time to get out of the tent this morning. Body's a little bit stiff, but overall doing pretty good. Mind is doing pretty good. I got a little lonely last night, honestly, mainly because I had a really cool campsite with a fire and a really great meal and a river behind me, and I really wanted to share it with somebody, but it's also really cool to be out in the middle of almost nowhere and be by yourself. So you kind of have both of those feelings go back and forth. Belly is doing fantastic. Breakfast this morning was a black bean and egg breakfast burrito with some cheese. I packed in an avocado and a lime. And yes, I packed in an avocado and a lime for 26 miles just for this morning, because it's delicious, and the flavor of fresh avocado and lime right now, halfway through my trip, is pretty phenomenal. Totally worth it, at least for me it is. On that, I will say that it is really, really amazing what a cup of coffee and a fresh meal will do. This morning I was really tired, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna hike more miles today, but I'm feeling really, really good now. Ready to charge into the day. One thing to note for this whole solo deal is that stuff just takes longer. There's a lot to do around camp. If you're not a big backcountry camper, there's just some things that you need to do on a daily basis just to keep you rolling. So, for example, you've got to, if you're in bear country, you need to pack up your food and anything that smells like your deodorant, if you're bringing that, and put it on a bear wire or put it in a bear canister and get it away from your camp. You need to filter water. You need to boil water. You need to make dinner. You need to set up your tent. You need to set up your sleeping bag. You need to, what else do you need to do? Wash the dishes when you're done. There's just all these little things that add up, and it's really nice to have another person around to help tackle all that. And none of that is really hard. It just takes time. And something to consider when you're going by yourself is just factor in a little bit more time to be able to do all that and get packed up and get ready to go. So anyway, overall doing good. Halfway through, charging through today, and continually going north towards the mouth of the Elwha, and gonna go see some more pretty cool stuff today. So keep on going. Onward we go. Boca Boca. Corso Solo, end of day 3. I've made it to a river, as you can probably hear. This is Lillian Camp. It's another 13 miles today. I was able to truck it pretty good, so got here in pretty good time. End of it was a little bit of elevation gain by probably 1,000 to 2,000 feet, and then some pretty steep elevation loss, probably another couple thousand, into this beautiful valley somewhere. But man, beautiful trail. I thought it was going to be a little bit boring, just because I've been in the woods for the last few days, but it was actually pretty cool. Just every half mile, quarter mile, the things would change, the plants would change. There would be some really old structures that have been here for over 100 years, so that's pretty awesome. But the thing that hurts the most is my feet. Everyone has the thing that they that hurts the most for them, whether the shoulders or back or face, maybe your face hurts. But for me, my feet were getting really, really tired. But once you finally reach camp, it's amazing what happens as far as the energy level that comes back when you can plop your pack down, take your boots off, and set up camp, set up a fire, get food, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you where I am. And this is where I get to stay tonight. So as you can imagine, spirits are very high. This is really, really amazing, and I was not expecting this at all. I've really scored on my campsites for this trip. Total miles now are almost up to 40. And I've got one more day left, which has me in very good spirits, because that means I get to be done. But I don't know. The interesting thing about being out here is, sure, you want to long to be back home, be with your family and friends and your dog or your cat, but part of you just wants to stay out here because it's really pretty. And as long as if you got your food situation covered, you're not feeling terrible about that, you've got enough water, you can be out here for a long time. So at this point, I'm kind of torn of I would love to stay out here, especially right here for a little bit while longer. But I also know that my trip's coming to an end and there'll be another one. But it's funny how that works, where when you're in it, you're like, oh my God, my back hurts. Oh man, it's terrible. Why can't I just get back home? But then when you're safe and comfortable, everything's all right. So anyway, I'm going to cook up some dinner tonight. Probably going to do some noodles. I'm going to add that on to the end here if you guys want to watch, as far as cooking up a quick noodle dish. But all's good at Lillian, and one more day. Boca Boca.
Hola, Chef Corso Solo, day 3, and it's time for dinner. Can be challenging as you get farther along your trip of making things that aren't fully dehydrated, kind of gross. What I've got on the menu tonight is a Thai rice noodle bowl. And we're going to cook it up in probably 10 minutes or so. Not a whole lot of pre-prep, but I'm going to show you what's going to go in it.
Alright, so I've got my camp stove all ready. I've got my ingredients, got my water, got my camping chopsticks. If you don't know about camping chopsticks, they're going to change your life. Knife, lighter. So, what's in my bag? So, I've got some Thai chili paste and some coconut milk powder. I've got a couple of dried shiitake mushrooms, which I've hydrated actually a little bit through the trip. These are really, really great ways to add some quick flavor and nice richness. I've got a nice bundle of rice noodles. Got a package of chicken broth. Don't have to have this, but I had one in the house, so I'm throwing it in there. And now to my fresh things. So, oh my gosh, snap peas. Yes, so this is what snap peas look like after a few days. Not perfect, but overall not bad, and still really, really, really edible. And let's see if they still crunch. Yep, sure do. And man, 3-4 days in, that's pretty awesome. And I've got a little bundle of green onions. And, you know, they've turned a little bit too, but still overall pretty good. I'm pretty good with that. And I've got a half of a lime left over from breakfast this morning, which was black bean breakfast burritos. And I know you're looking at me like you are absolutely crazy.
how could you pack in a lime over 40 miles in order to eat? Like, that's crazy. Well, I will say you're crazy for not bringing it, because this is going to be absolutely amazing. So why don't we meet in the middle over some noodles? All right, so I'm going to get this fired up. Throw some water into my stove and get cooking. So in our pot already is the chicken broth packet, the container here of chili paste and coconut milk powder, and our shiitake mushrooms. And I'm going to go ahead and add our rice noodles. As far as amount of water, it's kind of up to you as far as how much you have and how brothy you want your dinner tonight. I added probably around 10 ounces of water. I might add a little bit more because I might want it to be a little bit more brothy. So you're going to cook this up until the noodles are done, and then we'll add our fresh ingredients. Oh, hey, probably time to check our noodles. So it looks like they need a little bit more. These have been cooking for less than 5 minutes. So we'll come back to these. Okay, let's check our noodles. So looking really good. Nice. All right, so while this is boiling, I chopped up my green onions, have my snap peas, gonna add those, and then do a nice squeeze of lime. But then, hey, Chef Corso, well, what do I do with this? Do I have to pack it out? It's like, well, yes, always pack it out, but throw this in your water. It might be a great little bit of different flavor than the last couple days. Mix that up real quick, and you're good to go. Also, you might be asking, well, oh man, this is vegetarian. Well, for some of the vegetarians out there, they might be very excited about this. But if you do need some protein, yeah, go ahead and add a package of chicken, a packaged tofu, or powdered eggs. Go really, really well in this. They're not a whole lot of pack weight, give some really, really great protein. But that looks good to me. And that little bit of crunch and freshness. Oh, man. And keep in mind, this is day 3 of my trip, so those have survived in my bag with not a lot of weight for a long time. So, give this a try. Nice little different than just your ramen. Very low pack weight, really tasty, really good fuel for your next day. So, get out there. Boca boca. Hola, good morning. Corso Solo, day 4. This is the hike out day, last day. I made it, except I'm not done yet. I still have 10 miles to go. Should be pretty doable. 4 miles on the trail, and then around 6 miles on a Forest Service road. So I think I can manage that. Body is super creaky this morning. One thing I haven't told you is that my sleeping pad started leaking and pretty much died on the first night. So I've been sleeping on the ground this whole time. Do I recommend it? No. Is it the worst thing? No. Somewhere in the middle, but thankfully the ground has been pretty soft with some moss and some sand where I've been camping. So yeah, so there's that. It's bittersweet, really. Like, this is really amazing right here, and I could stay here for many days because it is glorious. But there's also the desire to get back home and get clean and sit down at a table rather than a stump, even though that's pretty fantastic. But this has been a really, really good experience. I'm not done yet. Feels like I'm done, but I still got more to walk. So, onward we go. Finish up this thing.
Boca Boca. Corso Solo. End of day 4. I'm done. Finished off a little over 10 miles. Man, the last couple miles were a slog, but I found a new friend on the trail. She was able to help me get through that last mile, actually talking to somebody. First time in days. It's actually really, really nice. But this ends at Madison Falls, right by the Elwha River. I'm tired. My feet, I think, are the most tired. My body is generally tired, but not broken or not dead. And overall, I think what I'm feeling right now is like there's some good accomplishment. I did it. I did over 50 miles. It's a lot of miles. 50.3 to be exact, because that's a lot. But I'm feeling content. I'm feeling really good. This specific trail is really peaceful, really meandering through the forest, hugging some rivers, and not a lot going on, and a lot of time to think. I also feel really good because my belly feels good. I'm not super hungry. I'm not jonesing for a burger, even though I'm gonna crush a burrito just in like the next hour. But the food fueled me through this and gave me something to look forward to. I was excited about the tom yum noodle bowl. I was excited about the bacon polenta, and that really helped me through. And I think the combination of the beautiful trail and foliage and everything around, plus really good food, really made this trip amazing. So solo is definitely a different bird. It's not for everybody, but I highly recommend it to do by yourself sometime, because I feel really good. I feel tired, but yeah, I feel good. So anyway, get out there. Signing off for this one. Boca Boca.